Hey there. So, working on our micro VI program, and today I want to see about getting the ability to render background colors on behind these letters. It'll help us differentiate the status bar from the rest of the document, and there's other uses to being able to highlight text or show where the cursor is. So, let's see how we're going to do that. Now, what I'm thinking, we have a tile display on display 5. I want to set up another tile display on display 6. That will be for the background colors. The way we're going to do that, I want to rename this from TD to something else more descriptive, because they're all TD tile display, they're all going to be tile displays. Let's try this. Can I do that? I think I can. Now we need to find every reference to TD and change it to display.foreground. Okay, let's make sure that still works. And we're good there. Then we can set up the background display. And then this needs to go with the other constants at the top. Because we also need to scoot this up. Foreground and background need to be identical, but they need to have different tile sets. And the tile set for the background only needs to be a single tile. Just need a solid color tile with the same size as our font. Something like this. Initialize that to white. And the other properties can be cloned from the foreground. So in general, we want to keep these two displays in sync. So the foreground display, background display. Tile tile set we're generating at runtime. And now I'm moving the clear command out of the render document. And let's go to our update. Clear the background and foreground. Does clear accept the color? No, it should be fine. Okay, let's see what this looks like. It should look exactly the same. No, because the background tile is white. The next thing we have to do is set the cell tint for every tile on the background. We can clear to a tile index, but after we do the initial clear, there's not really anything else to do for it. I think we're going to move this down here. There's only one tile, index 0. And then for y in range 0, display background extent at 1, -1. Same for x. Background set, cell tint, x, y, color clear. No, I want it to be clear. I want it to be black. Let's just make sure it works. We'll clear it to red. Okay. Great, so that still works. And it does set the background color. So let's clear that to black, and then what we're now able to do, we're setting the foreground of the status bar to orange. Display background set cell tint x 0. Let's make it blue. That sounds nice right now. Let's fix that part there. Well, now I can't see the text. Oh. Foreground, set it to orange. That should have worked. What am I missing this time? Let's undo that for a second. Oh, I see what I did wrong. We don't actually need to do anything with the foreground here. When I reset it to go over every x value in that range, it overwrote the text on the foreground that we just put in place. So I think we're going to leave this loop here to finish clearing out the rest of the foreground of the status bar. And then we'll have this just set the background of the status bar. Which I think that'll do. There you go. One little status bar. And I want to update our status bar a little. I'd like to put the file name down there. So the way we do that, I think we're going to adjust this one more time. Take a first pass over the status bar, completely clear it out. We have some text here. We're writing that text. And then I want to actually render another set of text for the path. In which case the X value is actually display foreground extent 0 minus text length. And that should put the path in the bottom right of the screen. Let's see if it does that. There it is. There's some flashing there. It's because you're able to see the rendering as it's happening, basically. We can get around that with double buffering, have two off-screen displays that we're actually rendering to. We can also get around it by not allowing the document to write on the bottom row of the display, row 0. And I'm going to start with that. Like that, I think. There's still flashing. That happens when we clear the display. Clear it and redraw. And I think we are going to run a double buffering system here. Am I going to do that now, or will I wait until later? I always take a shortcut when I'm doing this double buffering thing because it's already implemented in the TC library, and for whatever reason, it's just easier for me to do this. So this flip function takes in two displays, and we'll flip between the two of them. And display mode, in our case, needs to be tile, not pixel. And now I need to remember, let's see, we have two displays for the foreground and background tiles, and we're wanting to flip both of them at the same time. And I'm trying to remember how many displays are on the mini micro. I think it's 7 or 8. It's not displatty. Come on. Yeah, there's 8 of them, 0 through 7. 3 is the default text display. Overriding that one means that the print statement will stop working. 7 is solid color. It's rarely used, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to take over 4 through 7. How do I want to represent this? We need to initialize 2 foreground displays and 2 background displays. Basically like this. Foreground 0 and then foreground 1. That should be like 5 and then display 6. And then 2 tile displays. Sorry, that should be 4 and 5. This might break the event system, actually. I will tell you in just a second. 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So we have those displays. So we're flipping 5 and 6. If the first one is off, it becomes on, and the second one becomes off. Okay. We're going to initialize all these modes to off. First time we flip 5 and 6, we should be able to say that display.foreground equals display foreground 0, and flip 7 and 8. And let's see if this works at all. Can't set indexed element of null, line 26. I was not expecting that one to be null. Let me see. Yeah, those are all null. Null, null, null. It's because that needs to be plural. Not sure how I did that. Alright. Well, let's try this again. Type error looking up cell size on line 206. But all the background 1 display is still null. Foreground and background are null. That is too many nulls. What is going on? Foreground 0 worked. Foreground 1 worked. Background 0. Background 1. That worked. They all worked. Okay. Cell size line 206. Oh, I see the problem. That will help. Can't set indexed element of null. That's right back where we started. Oh. Well, we don't want to do this. Don't want to override the GFX global. Of course, that's not our error. The error was somehow that's set to null? All from line 227. Oh, 7 and 8 don't exist. Okay. This will help. sprites not found in map. See, that's what I was afraid would happen. Now the problem is that we're using this events library to handle event-driven programming in this script, but the events library has some stuff with event sprites built into it, which is breaking because we are overriding the sprites display. The way to solve that, instead of overriding the displays for double buffering, we can create some off-screen displays to solve the problem. But I am not going to solve that today. You're going to have to come back and join me next time. So, thanks for coming, and see you around.